I've been struggling with sugar cravings since I was a kid. And the worst part is always at night when the house is quiet and you're just sitting there thinking about the fridge, which is stuffed with good food and sugars. I tried so many things, and most of them didn't work. But I found a few small habits that actually help. And tonight, I just want to talk about what I do when the cravings hit. I remember when I was a kid, I would always want sugar after dinner. And I think that just stayed with me into my adult age. My older brother, could save his candy for days, but I ate mine right away. It was a struggle. And now, when the house gets quiet and everyone else is asleep, I still feel that pull. It's like the fridge starts calling my name when there's nothing else to do. I think a lot of people feel this way. And it's not because we're weak or lazy. The evening is just when everything slows down and your brain looks for a little comfort. And that can be really exhausting. And that's when the sugar craving gets loudest, because you're tired and the day is done and there's no distraction left. You come home from work or something else, or you finish the dishes, and you just want something sweet to mark the end of the day. I totally get it. I do. And that's because I used to do that every single night. So yeah, the nighttime is hard, and that's just how it is. And I wanted to share what actually changed for me, because I felt so stuck back then, and I don't think anything would help at all. Because the cravings are strongest at night, because that's when our habits are running on autopilot and our energy is lowest. And that is a lot of people struggling with just that. I thought I just didn't have enough willpower. But now I know that's not the truth. It's just a really common thing that happens to a first thing I learned was that the problem wasn't really the night itself. It was how I was feeding myself during the day. And once I changed that, the evening got a lot easier without me having to fight so hard. But what actually worked surprised me a lot, because it wasn't some big dramatic change. It was just a few small things. I have some bugs here. There's a lot of bugs around here. It's good when it's windy. But what I figured out was that the real problem, it wasn't the evening at all. It was what I was eating during the day. When I started eating more protein, which is important, and clean, non-processed food in the morning and afternoon, I noticed something weird. The cravings at night were just much more quiet, which is a good thing. They didn't go completely away. And I'm not saying that, not at all. But they were softer. Like, instead of screaming, they were just whispering. And I could actually ignore them. I think it's because when you stay full with real, unprocessed food, your body doesn't panic and demand sugar later, because your hunger signals work like they should. You're not running on empty. When 10 p.m. comes around and you just want that snack, the sugary snack. Before that, I just have toast or cereal, and by 10 p.m. I was tearing through the cupboards, all the crackers and chocolate and chips. I remember one day I had eggs and some homemade yogurt in the morning, and chicken and veggies actually for lunch. And that night I walked past the cupboard without even thinking about it. Oh, the bugs. That never happened before. And it wasn't magic. It was just that I wasn't starving. I gave my body the correct fuel throughout the day. And when you're not starving, you don't need the sugar rush to feel okay. You have to stay full. That is the key. And full with real food. I also found a little protein snack before bed helps too. It's not a big meal, just a small handful of nuts or some Greek yogurt. And I make my own yogurt, but you don't have to. It keeps your blood sugar steady while you sleep, and you don't wake up and wanting all those junk food like cookies and chocolate. it feels. And I can tell you, it feels so much better. So much better. It's like night and day. And this isn't about being perfect or following some strict plan. It's just about giving your body real food during the day so that the evening isn't a battle. Because when you're full from clean, non-processed or little processed food, it's almost impossible, in my opinion, to overeat sugar. You just don't want it as much. And that is a bonus, actually. Not saying it is like this for everybody, but for me, it was like night and day. And I thought I had to cut everything out and be miserable. But that just made me want sugar more. Now, I just try to eat enough protein to meet my protein need. And fat. You should not fear fat during the day and the night. And it gets much easier then, because you're full on real food. It's actually not complicated. It's just one step at a time. But that's not the only thing I do. And there's one more thing I do right when the craving actually hits. And it's even simpler than the food. So, it's all about a little ritual I have. So when the cravings hits, I boil some water and I make a cup of delicious herbal tea. And I know that sounds too simple. But it's not about the tea itself. It's about the ritual. You hear the kettle start to rumble in the background, and you pour the hot water, and you hold the warm cup in your hands. That's important, very important. It gives your body something to do and something to feel. And that feels good. It feels really good. And I think the warmth replaces that comfort we usually look for in sugar and other junk foods, which is a drug actually. Sometimes I have a little snack together with hot tea. That's perfectly fine. I don't reach for the cookies. I just have a few almonds, macadamia nuts, or a spoon of yogurt instead. I keep it small, simple, and clean. And I sit down with it, and I breathe for a minute. Like this. The craving is still there sometimes. That's perfectly fine. But it passes faster when you give yourself a different ritual to focus on. And that's also the key here. It's small steps towards something bigger. And I learned that denying myself never worked. It just built up until I broke and ate way more sugar than I would have in the first place. The tea is a replacement, not a punishment. And the best part is a sound. I love the sound of the kettle and the pour and the cup sitting on the table. It's very cozy, and I like that. And that softness comes more than expected. I suggest that you try it this night. If you struggle with overeating sugar and other junk, just boil the water and pick a tea you like and let the warmth do the rest. I thought I needed something big and dramatic, change my habits. But it was really just this small thing. And it seems small, but it might be bigger than you think. The tea interrupts the pattern. Before my hand would reach for the candy drawer or the cookie, without my brain even asking, it was just a bad habit. Now my hand reaches for the kettle instead, which is so much better. It takes about the same time. And by the time the tea is ready, the worst part of the craving is over. Oh, there's insects here. That is good, and I'm really glad it works. I am. Those small things, small changes. It doesn't work every single time, and I'm not going to pretend it does. But it works enough, and that is what matters. Because if it works 90% of the time, that is so much better. And changing what I keep around me was just as important. Because if you have things laying around, it just makes it harder. And there's something else I had to learn. Willpower is a myth at 10 p.m. in the evening. I don't care how strong you are in the morning, because that's easy for a lot of us. When the cravings are low, and when the house is dark, and you're tired, your willpower is gone. It's so much easier to overeat in the evening. The real power is what you keep in the house, close to you. And I just stopped buying the things I binge on. I don't cut out everything sweet, just what I can't stop overeating. If it's not in the cupboard, you have to work harder to get it. And that gap is usually enough to do the trick for most people. And by the time you get your shoes on to go to the store, the craving has faded away. I keep easy protein options right where I can see them. And that could be a protein powder with some chocolate flavor. And I keep my good homemade natural yogurt in the front of the fridge. I put a bowl of nuts on the counter. I keep boiled eggs ready to go. So when I open the fridge looking for comfort, I see the yogurt first. And I love yogurt. It doesn't have to have any added taste. I just love the sour taste. I've done it since I was a kid. It's not about doing everything right. Not at all. It's just about making the good choice a little bit easier than the bad one. And your environment shapes your habit way more than your motivation goes. Okay, it's so many flies there. I used to keep chocolate in a drawer right next to my bed, and I would eat it without even thinking. And that is not good at all. That is bad. And a lot of people have it like that. Now, I get water there instead. A little bottle of water. And it sounds small, but it changed so much. You don't need to change everything at once. It's all about the small steps at a time. And just change one thing in your kitchen tonight. Put the sugary snacks out of reach, away from you, and move the clean, real, healthy food where your eyes land first. And that is what changed everything. I think the food companies know this. They make the candy easy to grab, and the good food takes work. So you just have to flip that in your own house. Make the healthiest stuff easy and the sugary snacks hard to find. And that was the hardest part for me to accept, because I wanted to believe I was stronger than my kitchen. But you must be gentle with yourself. The hardest part of all this was learning to be gentle with myself. One night of sugar doesn't undo anything. It's just one night. The shame spiral is what actually hurts you. You eat something sweet and you feel bad about it, and then you eat more to feel better. That is dangerous. I know, because I lived in that loop for years, and that loop is worse than the sugar. Felt like I had to be perfect, and if I stopped once, I'd fail completely. But that's not how it works. Breaking the loop starts with forgiving the craving instead of fighting it. Your body is just asking for comfort through the craving. You don't have to say yes every time, but you also don't have to yell at yourself for wanting it. That's not good. This is not about being perfect. It's about being a little kinder to yourself tonight and tomorrow and the rest of the days as you keep going. You just keep moving forward bit by bit, one step at a time. I still have evenings where I eat ice cream, and that's okay. You just have to accept it. I'm not trying to be a robot. I'm just trying to have fewer of those evenings and more times when I make the tea instead. And the balance is enough. It works for me. You don't need to get everything right to feel better. You just need to be a bit gentler with yourself when the craving shows up. sitting there tonight, wanting something sweet, just know that you're not alone. I'm sitting there too.